Hey everybody, welcome back. I have a bad feeling about our chances of continuing the streak today, but I don't know why. Let's hope that when I random, that bad feeling doesn't materialize. Okay, we're gonna get Maggie. I mean, Maggie's not my favorite character to be playing as. Before we check out our seed. Ooh, you know what? Chemical Peel's alright here. Sorry, I got a little bit of congestion going on in my throat right now. It's not because I'm sick, I actually just ate, like, leftovers of this really spicy Korean soup called gamjatang. I haven't had gamjatang in like 4 years. I had it once when I actually lived in South Korea when I was teaching English. Every time I mention that, people go, "Whoa, Northern Lion lived in South Korea." Yeah, it's true. I did for a year while getting like the YouTube stuff set up. I thought I was gonna be there longer, but luckily The Binding of Isaac came out and people were like, "Hey, this guy's, you know, just dumb enough for me to watch, but not smart enough to play anything else." And here I am still to this day. But yeah, it's like a potato soup with like a bunch of pork bones in it. It sounds a little gross, but is actually like delicious because the soup is kind of like, it's not like a watery broth or anything like that. It's more like a gravy type thing. It's fantastic. Anyway, good for a hangover as well, which I don't have, but I did the first time I ate it in Korea. Now, if you could just not hit me. I am concerned. I'm concerned about my ability to fight Dingle right now. That is exactly why. The reason I fought the bosses instead of, well, not fighting the bosses right away was because I wanted to maximize my chances of getting a deal with the devil, but it doesn't appear that that is going to be too likely to happen here. But getting Chemical Peel by itself is already enough to make me feel alright about this first floor. I know we have another item room to go to as well. I should have probably gone to that item room first, but hey, all stats up. That's amazing. Let's try to fight our boss, but just remember, we're not going down to the next floor. As much as I love the idea of getting boss rush room, we're not going to worry about that too much. People still to this day think, you know, they skip a couple episodes. They don't hear my constant tirades about boss rush room. I think it's like one of the most strategically valuable rooms in the game if you can get to it. But especially if you can get out without having to actually fight everything. But for now, I'm super stoked to have gotten basically 2 damage upgrades combined with other stats upgrades here. No deal with the devil, which is fine. We do get Synth Oil, which is our 3rd damage upgrade. This is actually quite lovely, to be honest with you. If we're not going to get a deal with the devil, 3 damage upgrades is a fairly nice addition to get there. So, yes, I realize, unfortunately, that we are basically, or maybe perhaps fortunately, depending on your perspective, we could be done with this floor if I wanted to be. I don't really want to be, though, because we're going pretty fast already. It's only 2 minutes in. We don't have much of a risk of dying. This is what I wanted to do, is come back here and get... Ooh, we didn't quite make it, but that's fine. Come back here and do this, and there was like a huge haul for us here. We're going to break even, plus pick up a Spirit Heart, plus get Guppy's Head. I should probably use Yum Heart first, but that's okay. I think Guppy's Head is substantially better than anything else that we could have on offer right now. We'll pick this up. Now we'll head down to the next floor. Making great time, so we'll probably never have to skip any item rooms if we still want to get the boss rush, and we've got enough consumables to make this happen, and I would really, really expect to find a deal with the devil on this floor. This is actually, I know I said I had a bad feeling about this run. I'm not trying to be cocky yet. Let's see what we got here. Hey, that's good to know. Not that applicable for us now, but that's okay. I know I said I had a bad feeling when we got started, but now I actually have a great feeling. This is one of the best first floors I think I've ever had as Maggie. Mystery Sack, by the way, drops a random consumable type drop. I say consumable type because, you know, sometimes you can get 1+1 pennies, and occasionally it's actually really useful if you can get something like Spirit Hearts. I don't know if Rosary Bead will affect the payouts of Mystery Sack. I kind of hope it does, for reasons that should be obvious. We absolutely have to fight in this room, and Goathead is going to solve a lot of problems for us. Look, I'll be honest, my bad feeling is now meaningless. Trademark Northern Lion luck has now come into effect. We're going to get non-stop deals with the devil for the rest of the game. We've already had 1 Guppy item for free. We might be able to become Guppy again. And before you get mad about that, think about how long it's been since we became Guppy prior to that. It's been ages. We did become Guppy with Azazel last time, but prior to that, I've been trying to become Guppy like non-stop. It's just not happening. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch, though. I mean, we can be pretty comfortable that this run is going to be pretty comfortable for now. But we have the onus of still becoming Guppy by going to curse rooms and stuff like that. It may or may not happen, but if we get enough deals with the devil, it shouldn't matter either way. We should be able to, if not steamroll the game, at least stand a very good chance. And we have the benefit of having, you know, more than Maggie's starting HP, substantially more than any character's starting damage as a result of the fact that we got 3 damage upgrades on the last floor. Haven't even seen the item room on this floor. We have a better spacebar item than Maggie normally starts with. We have one of my favorite kind of like mid-tier spacebar items in the game in Guppy's Paw. Don't try to tell me I'm underrating Guppy's Paw. I know I can hear you out there. Mid-tier? Dude, you think 3 flies per room is mid-tier? Okay, well, it depends what you consider the borderline of top tier to be. Is Book of Revelations top tier? Is Satanic Bible top tier? Maybe that's where the borderline exists. X-ray goggles are fine. X-ray vision. If you, they fixed this? I'm very glad to hear that, and that gives us more than enough money to make the shop worthwhile as well, so let's go check that out. I'm not going to worry too much about finding the second secret room on this floor, but if we do find it, that's nice. Sure, we'll take there's options. Humbling Bundle is fantastic, but there's options early on is really, really nice as well. Let's move along here. I'm hoping that we get a chance to fight our boss pretty soon, because you never know, a deal with the devil could carry us right away, and then we don't have to go through the rest of the floor. Well, we don't have to go through the rest of the floor with this little damage, I should say. This is not it either. We only got 2 flies that time. And don't even go around telling people Guppy's head is so good, because you know what happens when you do that. They'll nerf the item. So just, it's like a Christmas story. You'll shoot your eye out. They'll nerf the item. All right, let's do this. It is Gurney. And that is completely acceptable. I wonder how many, if Gurney is not the boss that I've fought the most, not just in Rebirth, but in my Isaac life in general, it's gotta be way up there. It might not be number 1. You might be looking at something like Monstro instead. No, only exclusively counting boss rooms, not counting like it showing up as a mini boss on like chest rooms or anything like that. I don't know, I think it could be up there. I'm gonna throw a bomb in here just to speed it up. You might be saying, you know, bombs are precious, but we don't need them to get to secret rooms anymore. We pretty much just need them for tinted rocks and accessing consumables that would otherwise be inaccessible. We're gonna take growth hormones instead of stem cells, and inside of our deal with the devil, we get Mom's knife. Look, I hate to say I told us so, but I told us so. I told us so. That is pretty much what I was hoping for here, and I'm feeling very, very confident about our chances here. And I'm feeling very, very confident that it's going to be relatively quick, one way or the other. My hubris is either going to, you know, cause me to get shit on, or cause me to ball out of control here. So it's one of those items, you know, I don't need to proselytize Mom's knife. You already know it's a great item. However, it's so nice in our current situation because we also get more flies, or sorry, better flies for having it. So I'm not too worried about our second secret room. Let's just head down to the next floor. What could kill me on this run? You know, it sounds like an Ernie Crabtree thing to say, but my number 1 biggest enemy on this run is probably myself. If I get a little too cocky, could find myself in a bit of a more dire position. You know, I still gotta try not to take damage because we're not rolling in HP. We're not doing terribly on HP, but, you know, we're doing better than we are on a lot of our runs, considering that our damage is also through the roof, but we could still mess this up, but it's getting increasingly unlikely. I should have shot that. I never learn, man. I've fought that room so many times, and I always let the troll bomb explode, thus rendering it impossible for me to get what I need to get. Guillotine. I don't like guillotine. On a streak, you know, people will be somewhat perturbed by the fact that I'm not going to take it, but on a streak, I don't want to risk anything, especially when we've already got such a good position. And if you don't like it, well, I apologize, but that's the way it's going to be for now. I would hate to lose the streak because we picked up Guillotine. I understand, by the way, Guillotine is actually a damage upgrade and a tears upgrade, both of which would tickle my fancy just a little bit. However, I'm mostly just concerned with making sure that I manage to win this. So Old Bandage is better, almost objectively, or maybe definitely objectively. Okay, I'll say almost objectively. I'm going to take this, just to guarantee us a little bit more survivability if we die. Well, a lot more survivability if we die, that will allow us to come back to life and have a chance to continue the streak. This is what saved us on that lost run. Mind you, we lowered our survival chances a little bit by doing that in the first place, because we're going to have less HP, but I think the equation works out in our favor. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, it comes with the tears and a damage upgrade, which is nice, but it's not enough to really push me over the threshold for that. Normally, by this point, I probably would not be too concerned about actually getting all of the consumables and going to every single room, but because we actually do have quite a nice lead time right here, I'd like to make sure we have as many chances as possible to kind of keep improving ourselves, right? If we're not having to rush at a breakneck pace, let's not rush at a breakneck pace. Plus, we have enough money to now get something from the shop. So there goes that spirit heart we just earned. Or, to put it more nicely, you know, thank God we got that spirit heart earlier, or we'd be 1 spirit heart down now. I will go back for that bomb. I hate this room. Any rooms that have, you know, like crisscrossing versions of these guys, no thank you, sir. It's difficult to fathom a Maggie run where all of the problems of being Maggie have been resolved without any of the strengths of being Maggie being removed. It's difficult to fathom a run like that losing, so I'm going to try to make sure that I, you know, hold steady there like Craig Finn and company. Now, that would be, I would totally watch that TV show. Come and knock on our door. I'm not a very good singer. We've been waiting for you, but my knowledge of pop culture and UA is pretty good. Where the kisses are hers and his. Craig Finn's company too. Boop, boop. Baby. You know, think about it, Sub Pop. You're the only people who can make that happen. Alright, curse room would be awesome. I would sacrifice a lot to get to a curse room. Boomerang, not very good. Pills, not very good. We'll buy a spirit heart just to guarantee ourselves a little bit more survivability yet. Did we find both secret rooms? No? That must mean that there is not a second secret room, or oh no, we did find the second secret room. It was up there. It was a bunch of red hearts. Okay, never mind. Game's not broken. I'm a little bit broken. Like an Amy Lee and Hinder? Wait, who was the guy that was on that Amy Lee track, Evanescence? It was played all over the place. I can't remember. I was in college by that point and had long since stopped being forced to listen to popular music. Not because I dislike popular music, but because I, you know, didn't own a car and still don't, so the radio is a foreign instrument to me. Everyone always say, Northern Line, you got such a radio voice. Sometimes they're cruel about it. They say, Northern Line, you got such a radio face. You ever consider working in radio? Like, I don't know, man. Maybe? Thought maybe that would get that tinted rock. Seems like kind of a drag, you know? Or maybe it's cool, I don't know. I did watch a lot of WKRP in Cincinnati when I was younger. That's gonna sound like I'm fucking with you, but I'm not. I watched a lot of WKRP in Cincinnati when I was younger. I don't really want that. I grew up with, like, Nick at Night, man. I don't really want Little Chad either, but here we are. Unfortunately. 2 not-so-fantastic boss rooms. That's alright. Because we have a fantastic run as is. And honestly, we should definitely go to our shop. I was going to say we should probably go to our shop, but we should definitely go to our shop. But honestly, we're in such a good position right now that we could just fight the boss if we wanted to. I don't think I've ever seen this room before. This room strikes me as one that's actually pretty annoying, even with Mom's Knife. And you know what? That's pretty cool. Normally, Mom's Knife makes everything a little bit of a cakewalk. Can't believe we made it out of there. It's nice to have an opportunity to still demonstrate a little bit of, you know, mechanical skill while you're playing. That room could be a total nightmare if you were not doing very much damage, or if you could fly, it was probably very easy, but we struck like a pretty good balance there that made that room a lot of fun. I like it. Alright, the money's out of control. Spirit hearts, I appreciate. Seriously, apparently I just can't aim at all. I'm displeased by this revelation, but at the same time, if there's any item we could take that makes it so aiming is not as essential, Mom's Knife is up there. Brimstone would probably be number 1. Even if the charge is broken now, so you automatically use it as soon as you enter a room, it's still, you know, probably, maybe not by far, but probably the best item in the game still. You can argue with that all you want. I haven't seen all the items in the game, so I should, that's why people are like, sometimes they message me and they say, hey, you should do like, ooh, yeah, we'll take this. I'm not gonna take blank card though. Balls of Steel was like the perfect get for us there. People message me and they say, hey, are you gonna do like a top 10 best items in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth? And I'm like, I'd love to, but I don't have all the items yet. I still gotta do the lost stuff. And then, you know, on the flip side, people are telling me, hey, you know, how do you... Oh, I thought they were Wall Masters, maybe. How do you expect to ever get Platinum God if you're not playing the Lost right now? And the answer is, well, you know, what's the rush? Getting Platinum God is important, but I'm clearly not going to be the first person in the world to do so. Sure, we'll take it. And so if I'm not the first person in the world to do so, I'm not among the first, you know, 3,000. Who cares? I'll do it when I do it. It's going to happen. I'm going to buckle down and do it. I just don't want to risk my streak to make it happen. It's not like I'm going to get any kind of prize for, well, I'll get an achievement, but apart from that, nothing Nothing particularly special. We still need to beat Boss Rush and Dark Room, like the entire Dark Room side. That was terrible. As the Lost, and we still need to put together a 4th level Meat Boy. Apart from that, I think we're set. I'm still holding out my Guppy dreams. My dreams of becoming Guppy on this run. I think it's fairly likely, but it has not come true yet. It must be up, I guess. We should check out our boss mob trap room. Yeah, you know, I don't know if Mysterious Liquid like actually does anything for us in our current situation, but I'm assuming that if it gave you a damage upgrade in the form of toxic splash damage when you were firing tears, it probably does the same for Mom's Knife, even if it doesn't necessarily show it on screen. You gotta trust, you put some faith in the game here. Pretty rare to find an item in there, so I think, you know, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, you walk into that room and there's an item, you take it, even if it sucks, just to show the game who's boss and what kind of business practices you'll support in the future. It's, you know, I watched the interview, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I bought it, I watched it on YouTube, partly because I actually, you know, I like Seth Rogen. As a Canadian guy from the area who's not necessarily in fantastic shape, a lot of his comedy resonates with me. I've also never grown up. But also, it was like, hey, studios, I would totally pay $6 to watch more movies if you came out with them this way. I think we're better off with Rosary Bead. I might be mistaken, but it's a mistake that's unlikely to make a big difference. Alright. Whoa, I forgot about this room. There's different kinds of rooms here that can be annoying. This one's not actually so bad. Alright. We're gonna fight the Fallen. This is like a possible, like, quadruple deal with the Devil corridor for us, plus the boss rush room if we want to do it. First, we get the choice between Abaddon or Whore of Abaddon, and we're gonna take Abaddon here. No question about it. That is an incredibly good get for us. We're even gonna have some red HP back. Whether or not we actually want that red HP as a result of this Eternal Heart is a question for another day, but the Abaddon pickup is out of control. We are going to get a deal with the Devil because we have Goat Head, of course. We're going to take the Polaroid because we did Dark Room last. So we got to remember going up, and please give me Lump of Coal. That is Krampus's head, which sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. It might even be better than Guppy's head, but our damage is so good right now, I can't justify not rolling with that. Alright. Well, here's the deal. I'm trying to find my sparkling water here. I think you could justify taking Dead Onion. I'm trying to point at them all here. Or Dry Baby, or Gimpy. Dead Onion I'm going to rule out because we already have piercing shots that do decent damage. Oh, Dry Baby, or Gimpy. Dry Baby, Gimpy. I think I'm just going to take none of them, actually. And I know that's going to annoy some people after making such an effort to get down here, but if they were better items, I would do it in a heartbeat because we're doing so much damage. But because the items aren't really that good, I'm kind of like, who cares? Like, neither Gimpy nor Dry Baby are likely to make very much of a difference on our run. If there was, like, an ability to fly, for example, I'd be all over it. But there is no ability to fly in there. And that's okay. Oh. Yes, okay. We should be fine on this run. I mean, we have Judas's Shadow, if everything goes terribly wrong. And we have enough damage via Abaddon and all of our other stuff that if we die and respawn with Judas's Shadow, the damage that we'll have at that point will be stellar. We'd have a very realistic chance of actually beating, I don't want to say the whole chest, but depending on when it pops, we could probably beat a couple rooms and Blue Baby without getting hit. I'm not saying it would be easy, but it's well within the realm of possibility, I think. I may or may not be mistaken. Might be a little bit of hubris going on there, but mostly it's not, you know, that I'm playing very well. It's that I have a very beyond competent kind of loadout right now, like a really stellar loadout. I'm not firing my knife when I enter these rooms, by the way. In case you didn't know, there's a kind of glitch or new function in Isaac where if you... Yeah, we'll take it. If you are having some kind of charge shot, like Mom's Knife, Brimstone, Chocolate Milk, etc., when you enter a room, it will automatically discharge your charge shot. I like saying it because it means that I get to say discharge, which is a funny expression. That was very easy, even though I got hit. Let's see what we get. There's options has worked out so nicely for us. Let's see what's in our deal with the Devil first. Yeah, I'll totally take Dark Matter, aka Fear Shot. Gives us a damage bonus plus fear shot. And I think we gotta go, Jesus Juice for the extra damage. Even though Blue Cap wouldn't be bad. And we don't have any kind of permanent Polaroid invincibility stuff to worry about because we were going to get a full red heart because of that Eternal Heart anyway. But I do think that I'd rather just stack up damage than HP in this case. Blue Cap does come with a Tears upgrade, which might make Mom's Knife a little faster to charge to max range, or it might do more ticks of damage, or, you know, something silly along those lines. But it doesn't really matter to me all that much. I'd rather just have the raw damage, because, you know, sometimes we don't even want to deal with the charge. We just want to walk into enemies and, you know, watch them explode in half a second here. Plus, this also has the added benefit of making our flies better. I don't know if the range is actually worth anything as a Mom's Knife user right now, but hey. Mom's Knife user, doesn't that sound like that's like a slang for heroin? Not riding the white pony anymore. We're a Mom's Knife user. I don't see tinted rocks. Not that it would really matter, because we're essentially at the HP cap anyway. Remember when I took damage against Dingle on the first floor? I thought that was going to be a harbinger of things to come, but it turns out it actually didn't really have much of an impact at all. Still rolling in a pretty good spot. That was really dumb. Don't kid yourselves. This is a reroll room. I am not rerolling myself. We technically got basically market value for our keys, but our keys are worth a lot more than that because we are going to the chest. That's alright though. Shit happens. More bombs. Sure. As long as we keep 4. That's the most important thing. And we got 2 back there anyway. Money's not that useful for us at this point though. Unless we come across the world's greediest judgment. I don't even want to play a judgment at this point. I feel like judgments, the odds of them giving out HP has gone up to like nearly 100% now. That's probably just anecdotal evidence or anecdotal experience, but whenever I play a judgment, I'm like, okay, how much am I going to have to play you, or how much am I going to have to pay you, I guess, works is fine as well, to get you to pay out with an HP upgrade? And the answer is always like 3 cents more than I feel comfortable with, but I do it anyway because I have no impulse control. Nothing. And we'll just stay low here. Again, anytime these guys have, you know, mixed messages, I get mad about it. Not mad, but it messes with my brain a little bit. And that makes me a little bit mad because it makes me feel like, what's wrong, brain? You can't handle it? I don't get to choose which spongy organ ends up inside of my head. All I can do is try to, you know, augment it to make it as good as it can possibly be via, you know, avid reading and stuff like that. Doing a bunch of Sudoku puzzles. It's not fair. Alright, so we're not going to have a deal with the devil after it. Well, we are, but we're not going to take it because we're going up to the cathedral. Very important. Remember, cathedral. The cathedral is where you'll find Beedrill. And we really need a bug-type Pokemon to fight Misty. In... Wait. Cerulean City? Yeah, probably Cerulean City. Alright, let's head upwards. We will not, unfortunately with the Goat Head, we will not get a deal with the devil after the Isaac fight. Curse of the Maze. Not that annoying. Well, I mean, a little annoying, but not that actually, like, deleterious for us in terms of survival. So, that's a much better option for us than, like, Curse of the Blind, where you never know if you don't go. Also, you'll never shine if you don't glow. That's, like, the most reductive reasoning. Not reductive, circular reasoning I've ever heard. You'll never shine if you don't glow. What does that mean, Steve Harwell? Well, you never, you know, like, be a star if you don't sparkle. What does that mean? It's kind of catchy. But I don't understand it. What's the... I was inspired to write, you'll never shine if you don't glow. When? Were you watching the movie Mystery Men? Was the sparkle of the Spoon Man spoons what made you come up with that lyric? It doesn't make any dang sense. I'm just asking for answers, alright? I'm surprised I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. I'm the only one who cares about the artistic integrity of Smash Mouth's magnum opus All-Star. It's just me. Everyone else thinks it's a Shrek-related joke. It's not a Shrek-related joke. It's a Shrek-related life. Alright. I can't believe we didn't get any more Guppy items, by the way. Like, I can accept that we didn't become Guppy. I am very, very surprised that we did not get any more Guppy items at all. Look, I do not love the damage that I'm taking right now. If you think I love the damage that I'm taking right now, you are mistaken. But the difficult parts of the Isaac fight are now over. We can just settle in for the kills now. Wow, that was a really good shot, apparently. Alright. We have enough keys. We didn't have a left hand to drop or anything like that. We do have Curse of the Darkness. That's fine. Proptosis gives us enough damage to just carry this. We got 3 babies as well. Brother Bobby kind of sucks. Rotten Baby's amazing. Robo Baby 2.0, bit of a crapshoot depending on whether or not you want to, actively try to use it, like if your tiers are strong enough to make that worthwhile. But Mom's Knife Proptosis, easy to forget, was the combination that carried us on that Lost run. Combine that with the fact that if we die, we'll respawn with Judas' Shadow, and that's a pretty stellar amount of damage that we'll be outputting in our worst case scenario. In our best case scenario, we're still outputting an awful lot of damage as well. This is kind of a weird expression because in our worst case scenario, we're actually doing more damage. But anyway, I would love to have the opportunity to get some kind of permanent Polaroid invincibility happening here. I really doubt that it's going to happen. I love that the glitch can't even stop us because whenever we walk into a room, if there's an enemy right in front of us, they just get bitch smoked. That's a word that I've just invented, but I'm going to use it when I open my Norwegian herring restaurant. So this will be a bitch smoked herring from the shores of Trondheim. This fight is already over, and like I said, we had enough damage to not really worry about getting hit at all during that. That was pretty easy, and the streak continues. We're up to 18. I'm hoping to get to 20, but we're going to keep randoming because I don't want to be a total, ding-dong and just not random. It hardly seems fair. Let's force the game to make us lose at some point. But in any case, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.